celebrate good times. That's right. It's Juneteenth, June 19th. Today is the day that, well, the cavemen who overtook us kings let us free from our enslavement, which makes no sense because apparently these cavemen were strong enough to make us kings slaves, and then the cavemen fought other cavemen, and now we're free through no actions of our own. But yet we're gonna celebrate. I'm JB Gunner. It's JB Gunner TV. Let's go.
Bring it back.
What's going on, everybody? As you guys know, I'm JB Gunner, and this is JB Gunner TV. Now, first and foremost, let me say this. Thank you to everybody that supports this channel, whether it be on Cash App or Patreon. Look, man, regardless of the method you choose to represent the Gun Squad, support the channel, I appreciate you more than you'll ever know, because I could not and would not be able to do this each and every day as often as I do without you. So thank you guys so much. Now, with that being said, if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click the notification bell. That way you're notified every time I do a live stream and drop a video. Guys, with that said, if you too want to join the Gun Squad, if my message resonates with you, feel free to hit the links down below and do just that. Guys, we do have a sponsor here today, and that sponsor is TexasCaregiver.com. This is www.texascaregiver.com for any of you guys that have any old people in your life you take care of, mom or dad, whatever the case may be. Go to this website, go to the affiliate programs tab, get all the products that you need to help keep them old people clean. Now, celebrate good times, come on. That's right, it's Juneteenth. Now, I know a lot of my fellow Americans don't know what the fuck Juneteenth is. Shit, I didn't even know. And I was raised in an urban society. I was raised in a black community. I didn't fucking know. But I've heard them go on and on about Juneteenth for a few years now, right? For some odd reason, it wasn't ever discussed in my youth. It was never discussed. I literally never saw anybody in the projects celebrating Juneteenth. I never saw it. I didn't even know it existed. I'm being dead honest with you guys, right? But we're going to talk about it here today, because what is Juneteenth? A lot of you guys out there want to know, so I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you. Break it down for me. That's right. We're going to talk about it. Juneteenth. Let me make sure we got the right. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Juneteenth, also known as Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, and Liberation Day, is an unofficial American holiday. Not now, because it's, well, an official Texas state holiday celebrated annually on the 19th of June in the U.S. to commemorate Union Army General Gordon Granger announcing federal orders in the city of Galveston, Texas on June 19th, proclaiming that all slaves in Texas were now free. Although the Emancipation Proclamation had formally freed them almost 2.5 years earlier, and the American Civil War was largely ended with the defeat of the Confederate States in April, Texas was the most remote of the slave states, with a low presence of Union troops. So enforcement of the proclamation had been slow and inconsistent. All right, so guys, this is essentially what it is. Now let me go ahead and take you here. Let's go ahead and hear from them. Let's hear what their take is. What exactly is Juneteenth? Because listen, nothing says Juneteenth better than riots and protests all over the country. Racial division like no other. You know, attempting revolutions, right? So much so, we've had 5 hangings this month in America. 2 of them in Texas. I'm just saying, I think it's awesome that you guys celebrate all this by trying to take over cities like Seattle. I think it's awesome that you guys try to celebrate all this by taking away Aunt Jemima off the pancake syrup. What kind of bullshit is that? Well, what's that going to do for you, right? But of course, there's the constant complaints of oppression and the white man's holding them back. Well, I don't see it that way. But let's go ahead and let's take a look at Juneteenth.
Some of you may not be aware of this, but America actually has 2 Independence Days.
No, the fuck we don't.
One celebrates America.
No, the fuck we don't. I'm going to be honest with you. Liberation for 12.4% of America is not an American holiday. I'm being dead honest. Why isn't it an American holiday? Because that would mean 88% of us don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. My viewers don't give a fuck. Black conservatives, they don't even give a fuck. Now, I'm glad you guys aren't enslaved. That's why Americans, white Americans, we lost 800,000 of us trying to free you, right? But honestly, this doesn't affect us in any way. We're trying to shove it down our throats. We ain't gonna celebrate. I ain't baking a cake, motherfucker. I lost the damn shoe shiner. I lost the goddamn dishwasher. We lost some bed winches. We quickly picking back up the bed winches just because, well, you know. But I'm being honest with you. Why the fuck would we celebrate? But they try to shove it down our throats, don't us? Let's make it a national holiday. Why? 88% of us don't give a fuck.
America's freedoms from Britain's rule. Another holiday, Juneteenth, commemorates the day when a Union general came into Texas and gave an order that actually ended slavery. Now, you may be going to yourself like, wait, didn't the Emancipation Proclamation take care of that? And my answer to you is this.
No, it did not take care of it because some motherfuckers refused to follow it. I'm just saying, kind of like how y'all do with the crack laws and you know, your Black Lives Matter protests, tearing down our statues, right? That shit's against the law. And well, y'all ain't following that. So why did the Texans have to follow the Emancipation Proclamation, whatever the fuck it's called? Sounds like a new hip hop group.
You actually thought the Confederate States obeyed the law. Okay, sure.
Who the fuck said that?
On January 1st, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln declared all slaves held in Confederate states to be freed. But that news never reached the Texas slaves, and there's many theories as to why.
Maybe it reached them, but they just didn't give a fuck. They just didn't give a fuck. I'm just being honest with you. This is what it is. You can't convince everybody.
Someone literally murdered the messenger that was sent to Texas to inform them. Maybe, in typical Confederate fashion, they withheld them information from the slaves. Some historians believe that since the Civil War...
That's good. Hey, boss. They said we was free. No, hell no. Who told you that? Who told you that? Well, I read it. Who taught you to read? Shoot that man. Tell him about the gun line, boss. And running from pillar to post, shack to shack. If you step across the gun line, you will be shot. Y'all don't know about that movie Life. It's classic. Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy. You got to check it out. I know they don't promote. They're not sponsoring me right now.
Wasn't over yet, that the lack of Union Army presence in Texas made it hard for Lincoln's proclamation to be enforced. Nonetheless, it was cotton-picking business as usual in Texas despite the proclamation. Some
motherfuckers need desserts.
slave owners in neighboring states moved their slaves to Texas because they thought that the Confederate Army would eventually win the war, and when it was over, they could get their property back.
Yes.
So when Union General Gordon Granger rode into Galveston, Texas with Union soldiers behind him, and he saw all of these slaves, he decided to make an announcement on June 19th, 1865. First off, a proclamation was made from the president to free all these slaves 2.5 years ago. Second off,
y'all don't listen to Trump. We didn't listen to Lincoln. Why? Because that motherfucker was dead. Sleep. Just. We ain't got to listen to a dead man. I'm just saying.
You are no longer slave owners and slaves. You are employers, and those are your hired workers.
Oh.
Some slaves dipped out of there before Granger could even finish his announcement. Other slaves decided to go and leave the state so that they could repair their families that were torn apart from the slave trade. Others decided to flee up north. And they lived happily ever after, right?
Yes!
No!
Yes!
Of course not!
Of course
By law,
they did.
they were free men and women. But in reality, they were enslaved by oppression and violence.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. You see what happened? We lost 800,000 of us freeing them. We went through all this trouble, all this struggle. And then they said, we're still enslaved. We're like, no, you're not. Oh, yes, we are, because we're oppressed now. What? So we remove real slavery, and you're like, yeah, but you're mentally enslaving us, and you don't like us, and you won't hire us. So? still be that way. I still shouldn't have to hire your ass if I don't want to. If I think you're a loudmouth or a thug, I shouldn't have to hire you. Period.
Black bodies still hung from the branches.
Oh.
Some were even shot for their freedom.
It's a good thing people ain't hanging black people today. Make sure y'all check out that last story I just did about the suicide hangings, of course. Just saying. Let's go.
But freed men and women wanted to celebrate that they were just that, freed. They created a holiday that was originally called June the 19th. But then it was kind of squeezed together and now
Because of robotics and shit. Right. Like June the 19th wasn't good enough. Now it's Juneteenth. You know what? Why we gotta spell out the whole damn date? Why we gotta spell out the whole date? So I'm gonna tell you what. You yourselves make it seem like the date isn't that important. Y'all like, you know what? Why do we gotta say the whole date? Let's just squeeze it together and say some bullshit. You know, some jive talk. Y'all, it was some holiday. Y'all didn't even take it serious.
it's Juneteenth. When they wanted to celebrate the first annual Juneteenth, segregation laws forbade them from using public spaces.
Exactly.
Okay, that's fine. We'll celebrate near rivers and lakes. They dressed in the fanciest clothes so they can combat laws that required them to wear raggedy clothing. They ate barbecues, sung spirituals.
They ate barbecues. Strawberry soda. Oh my God. Yeah. When that shit evolved into grape drink. God, sweet tea. God.
Strawberry soda was the drink of choice.
Oh, I'm sure
also
it was.
ate a lot of red fruits and desserts like strawberry
Watermelon
pie and
shit.
red velvet cake to commemorate the blood that was spilt during slavery. These rituals still occur in today's Juneteenth celebrations, whether it be parades, cookouts, or
That
five days.
motherfucker, oh God. That motherfucker knocks down a lot of the red velvet cake. I'm just saying. You know it and I know it. Y'all really drink strawberry soda as a commemorative back to Juneteenth. Can y'all explain to us the grape drink then? That's what I'm curious about.
Festivals. And since whites didn't want to share their own spaces with blacks,
That's right.
blacks decided that they would raise their own funds for their own celebration sites.
That's how it should be. I like those people. How about we try that now? If we don't want to share our spaces with you, like our companies or our businesses or our lives, how about we do that same thing, or our money to give to welfare to keep y'all marching and shit? Why we have to? Why can't we be like back then?
Such as Emancipation Park in Houston, Texas. So as the former Texas slaves decided to migrate across the country, so did the importance of Juneteenth, which is also known as Emancipation Day or Freedom Day. In 1980, Texas was the first state to declare Juneteenth a state holiday when state offices are not closed but partially staffed. So far, 45 states have recognized the historical significance of Juneteenth. Guess what? Alabama wasn't last this time. Alabama was the 40th state to do so. But it didn't get the same paid state holiday status as Confederate Memorial Day or Robert E. Lee Day. There's also a national campaign to make Juneteenth a federal holiday. Whitewash textbooks didn't, and still don't, mention Juneteenth. Because of that, a lot of people are still finding out about Juneteenth. So whether you found out about Juneteenth decades ago, a few weeks ago, or even just now, don't worry. There'll be plenty of cookouts, parades, and festivals to celebrate the resiliency of the Black community. I'm Star Dunnigan with Reckon.
Oh, and check it out. Hold on, check it out. Let's go ahead and check this out, all right? Chris Cuomo says Juneteenth will now be a holiday for New York State employees. Virginia's governor declares Juneteenth a paid holiday. These are all recent, right? Let's see. I don't know if there was any other ones. Should it be a national holiday? They're arguing, of course. Atlanta, Stone, they had it as a paid holiday. It's getting crazy. I mean, I don't really give a fuck, right? I don't. So it looks like just New York and, Oh, God, Nike added June 19th as a company holiday. Goddamn. Goddamn.
This is a tomato.
No
Think
shit.
it's good for you? Think again.
He said this is a tomato.
You're watching Channel 2, Houston's home for news.
This Friday marks the 155th anniversary of Juneteenth, the oldest known celebration of the end of slavery, and it happened in Galveston.
It's a holiday that we celebrate here locally and on the state level every year, but tonight there are renewed calls to make it a federal holiday.
No.
Channel 2's Sophia Ojeda is live now with more. Sophia, this push is gaining momentum across the country.
Oh, no. We already celebrate Lincoln's birthday. That should be good enough.
It sure is, Chris. Many major companies already.
Let's give him Kanye Day. How about that? Look, Dave, can we give him Kanye Day? Let's just give him Kanye Day. Why? Can we just name Juneteenth the Kanye Day? Have him come out every day, every year with a MAGA hat on.
Making it a holiday for their workers.
Great drink
and
for all.
those who have been a part of this movement to make Juneteenth a national holiday for years, they say this push is long overdue.
No! They're 12% of the country. Who gives a fuck?
Juneteenth, celebrated with parades, dancing, singing, and remembrance. It commemorates the day more than 100 years ago when news finally reached Texas, here at Ashton Villa in Galveston, that slaves here were free. The day went on to become a Texas state holiday. Now, many pushing
only
for it
100 years
to
ago.
become
That's
a
crazy.
federal holiday.
So I think it should be. It does. It says a lot about the emancipation of a group of people who were considered three-fifths property or three-fifths human. So I think it should be.
It commemorates, the last of the slaves and freeing them. And I think that that's a major and a significant push for, making America more progressive.
The push
I will
was
make
recently
America more
gaining
progressive.
attention. Major companies already making it a holiday
Ah,
for their
shit.
workers.
Fuck 'em
Ramon
all.
Manning,
Fuck 'em
board
all.
chair of the Emancipation
All them
Park
damn
Conservancy,
companies.
says the late state rep Al Edwards of Houston played a big role in getting Juneteenth recognized as a state holiday back
That's
in
bullshit.
1980.
I
That's
think he
bullshit.
would be happy, but he would also understand that we still have a lot of work to do. This is a part of American history. I mean, long overdue is an understatement. We need to do this.
And Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee tells KPRC Channel 2 News that she has put together a bill that would be introduced this week that's pushing for Juneteenth to be a federal holiday. And of course, because of the
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Listen, bottom line, 12.4% of the country. Most of us don't give a fuck. Go ahead and give them a little holiday. Who gives a shit? Yes, freeing the slaves was a big moment in our country. But for some reason, it's 2020 and we're still talking about the goddamn slaves. Who gives a fuck? I didn't own slaves. You motherfuckers didn't own slaves. None of you motherfuckers are slaves. Who gives a fuck? Fine. Give them the holiday. Just give it to them and tell them to shut the fuck up. Make it on that day. They can get a free grape soda and let's just go move on. Who gives a damn? No, I don't think we should have slaves in the country. I don't. So congratulations. But here's what bothers me. Is y'all do not credit the white people for making it a reality for you. You don't. The cave beast. Well, how you let the cave beast enslave you. I'm sorry. But I'm not going to sit here and celebrate or commemorate or even commend you motherfuckers while y'all are destroying cities over thugs that was killed. The dude in Atlanta fired a weapon at the cops. George Floyd, his punk ass is a multi-time felon and was in the act of committing a crime. I don't give a fuck. The way y'all act right now, y'all act like you want revolution, you act like you want war, and now you want us to say, all right, let's celebrate Juneteenth. Fuck you. I ain't celebrating shit. So I hope all of y'all have a miserable Juneteenth. I hope y'all have a shitty Juneteenth. It's the way it goes. Do I think y'all should be slaves? Nope. But do I think we should celebrate it while y'all trying to destroy our history? Fuck no. Go fuck yourself. I'm JB Gunner. This is JB Gunner TV. Y'all want to know what Juneteenth is? Now you know. If you didn't know, which most of us didn't know, because nobody gives a fuck. If you want to support the channel, you can always do that down below if my message resonates with you. So everybody celebrating Juneteenth today. Fuck yeah. Hope you have a miserable day. I'm JB Gunner. I'm out. It is what it is. I don't give a fuck. Y'all can get mad. You're only 12.4% of the country. Who gives a shit?